is you want to use it as biggest group as possible. So here I'm going to use this one as to be able to cover the last one right here. So that's going to be an X because it did not change the X. And the one that did not change between in the horizontal way will be the Z. So we get the Z. So notice that I have two variables here because I'm using 4 instead of I'm grouping 4 instead of grouping 2, and that's better because I will use less variables if I were to group just 2 of them. For example, here to get the last one, I cannot make a group of 4, but I can make a group of 2. So that's going to require me to do more variables. So in order to be able to get that group right there, I'm going to have to use just 2. So the one that does not change is the Z and the W. The Z and the W do not change. The Z and the W do not change, right? They're still the same. And then we look at the vertical part of it, the one that does not change is the Y. So that's why we get a Y in the end. And I prefer to put the Y in the beginning. So that's how we get that equation right there. Okay, and practically that's what you do for all of these ones. Notice that here again, we cannot make groups of 4, but we can make groups of 2. So group of 2, and group of 2. Now the last one I cannot group, so I'm going to have to have a group of 1 there. So I'm going to have maybe a red. So that one is going to require, if we look at this equation, it's going to require the last one because it requires 4 of them to be able to get that one. So it's a 0, 0 for the Z and W, so that's Z naught, W naught, and then X, Y prime. So that's why we get this one right here, to be able to make that one. To get the first one, I need a, is going to be X naught, Y, so that's what we have here, X naught, Y, for this part right here. And now, the only thing that does not change between those two to cover the blue part is the Z. So that's supposed to be, a Z naught. Oops, I made a mistake. Good thing I'm going over it. Okay, so that's a Z naught. Good. And then here, between those two, it will be 1. We look at that one, and that's a 1, 1. So that's an X, Y to cover this one. And then here, the one that does not change is the W. So that's going to be a W. Now we look at this one right here to represent this one. We're going to have a the one that does not change here is the Y. So that's going to be a Y, because it does not change right here, does not change the Y. And then it's going to be the one that does not change is going to be a Z W naught. That's how we get the Z W naught. And then we get we can get this one is the red one is the, I probably should put it red. Help you. And then the blue one is gonna make this one blue, so it's easier for you guys to identify that. And then this is the yellow. So I put yellow. it's probably gonna be hard for you guys to see that one, right? So let me put it this yellow, and then this is the green one, and then this is the this one right here. So let me put a color for that one. Purple. Let's put this one purple. Purple. And then I'll put it bold, that way it's easier for you guys to see. So that would represent that one right there. So the purple one will be X not Y not ZW. And just going over this one as well, just to make sure this is correct. Here, and actually here we can have, there's going to be a trick that we can do. I haven't simplified it yet, but there's a trick that we might be able to do. So let's do this to purple, and that will be X, the X, and the Z not, Y, W not. So that will be the first one. And then this one would be, let's put a blue on here, or a red, let's do red. Oh, yeah, oops. Red. And that will be, the one that's not changing is a X naught, the X naught. And then you can see on the vertical part, on the horizontal part of it, right, we have a W naught, I'm sorry, a Z naught W, and that's what we have here. We're going to put that one red. And then here, let's do this one, let's make it blue. Blue. And let's make this one blue. So that one we have, the X is not changing, it's the same for both of them. And then here, the one that's not changing, well, it's both of them, 1, 1. So that will be X, W, ZW. And then here, we get a green one. Let's put the green. Green. And here we get, the one that's not changing is the X naught, which is what we have here. And the Z, we have a ZW naught. So that's the green. And this one is the blue. Maybe make it a little bit darker. Green. And then this one, this is an interesting one because we have ones on both sides. So what we can do is we can group all this 4 of them together because it's kind of like they're attached to each other. It's kind of like a circle. So if I go to the left, I'm gonna come on the other side, like a one-dimensional or like a 4th-dimensional whatever thing. So if I go to the left from here, I'm gonna appear over here. So I can connect those 4 together. So that's going to be those 4 together with this 4 together is going to be 8. So that's, you can see you can only group in pairs of 8. And here that will be red. Okay. This one's a little bit harder to graph, to pair because, or to do colors because it overlap each other. So I'm gonna keep it wide so that way you don't get confused. But note that you can actually group 4 together. It's a little bit harder to overlap each other in this one. Maybe I could put it over here. Let me see. I think that's gonna be helpful. So that's why I'm gonna. No, I'm gonna keep them separated. So I did this 4. I'm gonna keep them on yellow. Oops. Black, yellow, and that's going to be the XY. Maybe I should use a different yellow. Okay, there you go. Bold. And then this 4 right here will be blue, and that's going to be X and Z. Sorry, X and W. That'll be blue. Oops. And then we can have these 4, and I'm going to paint them red, and that's going to be this one right here. So hopefully that makes a difference and you guys understand that part. And then there's 1 by itself. So I'm just going to put it right here. I'm going to put that one, I'm going to make that one green. Oh, actually, oh man, no, I won't be able to put it right there just because it's going to make you confused. Get you confused. So I'll put it right here. I think I could put a copy, paste, and I'll put it right in here. So I'm going to get those 2 and make them green. And that will be the X. So that's for those for them. So that's how I group them together. Here, this one, it is actually a little bit special one because you can actually do a not X. You can factor out. You could factor out. Let me see. Let's see. We can. Oh, right here. So you can do some factorization and group them together. So I'm gonna change that to copy, paste, and I'm gonna put these guys together. So let me see, is everything correct? Okay, good. So now we can group these guys together. And we can group these guys together. And you can factor out from here, you can factor out the W prime. So you can have X Z prime plus X prime Z, and then that's a W prime. And then you can have a plus, and then you can factor out from this two the W. So that would be X prime Z prime plus X Z W. And I believe that this one is an XOR. I don't have the symbol here. Maybe I do. Let's see. Formulas. Insert symbols. Interesting that we have all these symbols, but we don't have the math symbols. Kind of important. Well, we don't have the symbols here. Let me see if maybe I can copy paste from over here. The other side. Let's see if I can put it right there. So it'll be X. There you go. Z. Oops. Oops. Why? Wait. Z. X or parentheses W prime plus, that will be a that one would be